50 Cent's personal assistant just leaked exclusive footage from the documentary he's been working on. The clips reportedly expose over 10 major rappers, and at this stage, it could destroy careers. 50 Cent is said to be furious over the leak, and the revelations are set to change everything. In this video, we're going to break down exactly what was revealed, show the shocking footage, and explain why this could seriously damage the careers of some of the most famous and influential rappers in the game. To understand what is happening right now, you have to understand the machine that 50 Cent has built around documentary filmmaking. In more recent years, 50 Cent has focused a lot of his creative efforts on TV, producing a number of shows including Power and its multiple spin-offs. But it was one project in particular that changed everything for the way Curtis Jackson operates in the public eye. The four-part docuseries Sean Combs, The Reckoning, was released on December 2nd, 2025, just under 2 years after Curtis 50 Cent Jackson revealed he was developing the project on December 7, 2023. The series was directed by Alexandria Stapleton, and 50 Cent served as executive producer. Interest in the allegations against Sean Combs surged with the release of the documentary, which includes interviews with jurors from the federal trial. But the footage that caused the most discussion was something nobody expected. In a trailer released on the eve of the premiere, Combs is seen in a Manhattan hotel room strategizing with his attorneys on a conference call. The footage was filmed on September 10, 2024, just 6 days before plainclothes officials made an arrest at that hotel's lobby. So how did this footage end up in the hands of 50 Cent and Netflix? That is the question that consumed the internet for weeks after release. Combs' personal videographer Michael Oberlees set the record straight, alleging the footage was actually released by a freelancer who was hired to fill in for a few days. Oberlees shared in a December 10 statement to Rolling Stone, "The footage in question was not released by me or anyone authorized to handle Sean Combs' materials. It was by a third party who covered for me for 3 days while I was out of state." Oberlees described the leak as a breach of professional ethics, saying the freelancer's actions reflect the lack of integrity every storyteller should uphold. In other words, a fill-in videographer, essentially someone working in a personal assistant or support role, was the source of the leaked footage that ended up in the documentary. On the other side, director Alexandria Stapleton explained the origin of the footage. "It came to us, we obtained the footage legally and have the necessary rights," she added. "We moved heaven and earth to keep the filmmaker's identity confidential." When 50 Cent was asked directly by NBC News correspondent Chloe Mellis about how he got the hotel room footage, Jackson said, "I figured most journalists would not disclose their sources." When asked if the subject of the documentary even knew the footage was included, 50 Cent admitted, "I would doubt he knows." After the massive success of the docuseries on Netflix, 50 Cent revealed there are still 140+ hours of unreleased footage that didn't make the four-part series. During a December 10, 2025, appearance on The Sherri Shepherd Show, 50 teased the release of raw clips directly to YouTube. He explained that the original cut was limited by time. Everything couldn't make it. It was only 4 episodes, so you had to pick and choose things. That success, and the way it was all put together through leaked footage from someone close to the inner circle, established a template. 50 Cent had shown the world that a documentary project, paired with social media pressure, could do more damage than any diss record. And that is when things shifted toward a new target. On March 5th, 2026, 50 Cent made a move that sent the hip-hop world into immediate chaos. The rapper-filmmaker posted a screenshot of an article that claimed he was developing a documentary tentatively titled Surviving T.I. and Tiny. The program would reportedly cover the allegations of rape and sexual misconduct that numerous women have lodged against the couple over the past few years. The caption that accompanied the post was pointed. 50 Cent wrote, "Remember how quiet I got before the Diddy doc? Dame thought I wasn't coming. I hope this doesn't mess up your promo tour. They're gonna ask about your 20 sexual assault cases. You might want to talk to a crisis PR person." That post landed like a bomb. The culture witnessed this on March 5th, 2026, when 50 Cent briefly shared an Instagram post that sent immediate shockwaves across the internet. For a moment before it was deleted, the post revealed a sneak peek of a purported documentary titled Surviving T.I. and Tiny, and in the caption, 50 Cent warned the Atlanta rap legend that he was about to be questioned regarding 20 sexual assault cases. Gossip blogs, hip-hop commentators, and massive media outlets instantly grabbed the screenshots, and the narrative was set. The title itself was an intentional homage to the groundbreaking Surviving R. Kelly docuseries. Now here's the thing, as of March 2026, there is no verified production schedule, network deal, or actual footage to confirm that Surviving T.I. and Tiny even exists. 50 Cent understands that in the modern era of instant viral media, the sheer threat of an exposing documentary often hits significantly harder than the actual project itself. Although no official announcements have been made, Fifth alluded to the possibility that he already put the plan in motion, and that ambiguity is exactly the weapon. By referencing his track record with the Netflix docuseries, 50 Cent signaled that the threat alone was enough to reshape the conversation. The allegations referenced by 50 Cent are not new. T.I. and Tiny first faced allegations of sexual assault, alleged facilitation of sexual abuse, and alleged forced drug use. In January 2021, after their former friend Sabrina Peterson shared a series of accusations from multiple women on Instagram. Since then, several more women have come forward and some of them filed lawsuits. T.I. and Tiny immediately denied the allegations. In 2021, Sabrina Peterson alleged that T.I. threatened to kill her and held a gun to her head during an incident in 2009. Within 2 months after she shared the allegations, over 30 women and one man came forward with accusations that the Atlanta rapper and his wife drugged, kidnapped, intimidated, and sexually assaulted them in California and Georgia. The gap between the legal reality and the court of public opinion is exactly where 50 Cent is operating. The courts may have technically closed the door on criminal prosecution, but the cultural conversation regarding these allegations remains fractured and unresolved. And that is the context for what happened next. By weaponizing a deleted Instagram post, 50 Cent managed to force T.I. onto the defensive, drag his past traumas back into the mainstream headlines, and control the entire hip-hop narrative without having to spend a single dollar on production. It was a textbook move from a man who has turned beefing into a corporate strategy. The documentary threat didn't happen in a vacuum. It came on the heels of a feud between 50 Cent and T.I. that had been escalating for weeks. And the spark? A Verzuz battle that never happened. The beef was reignited when T.I. revealed on the $1 Million Worth of Game podcast that 50 Cent had backed out of an agreed Verzuz battle without explanation. According to T.I., this was not a random call-out. While the duo was traveling around Hollywood locking in TV and film deals, Tip said that 50 seemed interested behind closed doors in participating in a Verzuz, but sang a different tune on social media, which made T.I. lose respect for Fifth. It was really about celebrating each other's catalog. "Me and this N talked about this," he said. "I just ain't call him out of the blue. This ain't come out of nowhere. We were moving around in Los Angeles selling some shows together. T.I. made his feelings clear. He said, just say you don't want to do it. All this other extra lame-ass shot, man, this shot goofy. I have no interest in standing on stage with him. I don't respect him." The 45-year-old seemed to have organized to announce his interest in the Verzuz first, and then 50 second, however, when he shared the news. 50 pretended not to know what he was talking about and began trolling him. Rather than responding with music or addressing it privately, 50 Cent did what he does best. He trolled. Fifth flooded social media with jokes, memes, and pointed posts aimed at T.I. and his family, particularly targeting his wife Tamika Tiny Harris and son King Harris. 50 Cent shared an unflattering photo of Tiny in an attempt to get T.I. to stop mentioning him. Then Fifth shared another post where he dragged King Harris into it, comparing him to Pepe the Frog. That was the line. T.I. immediately responded. Tip slid into the comments and fired back. And then, rather than continue going back and forth on social media, T.I. went to the booth. Tip dropped War, which became a warning shot, and later Right One, where he went off against 50. As of March 2026, T.I. has released 4 diss tracks targeting 50 Cent. War, The Right One, Lessons, and What Bully. T.I. kept the pressure on with his third entry, Lessons, which online commentators and rap critics described as one of his strongest performances in years. His fourth diss track, What Bully, targeted 50 Cent's online tough guy image, versus his apparent reluctance to face real-world consequences. As far as rapping goes, this has been a totally one-sided feud, as T.I. has been relentless in stacking 50 Cent diss tracks, while 50 has opted for social media fodder and trolling instead of heading to the booth, and 50 Cent. So far, 50 Cent has not responded with music. His approach has been entirely social media based, posting memes, jokes, and targeted images aimed at T.I. and his family. At one point, 50 waved a metaphorical white flag when removing all posts on his social media pages tied to T.I. and the Harris family. "I'm out of here, you guys hurt my feelings," he wrote alongside a photo of him hopping on a private jet. But as we all know with 50 Cent, silence is never surrender. It is usually the setup. What made this beef different from every other 50 Cent feud was the family involvement. This was not just T.I. versus 50 Cent. It became the entire Harris family versus the G-Unit boss. And it went to places that made even longtime hip-hop observers uncomfortable. The conflict quickly escalated beyond the two men, bleeding into their immediate families. The Harris family interpreted 50's posts targeting Tiny as a direct sign of extreme disrespect. T.I.'s sons immediately jumped into the fray to defend their mother, King Harris blasted old, highly inappropriate images of 50 Cent across social media, while Damani Harris released diss tracks aimed at the New York mogul. Damani dropped a song called Ms. Jackson. On the song, which starts off with a sample of Outkast's popular 2000 hit of the same name, the 24-year-old rapper pens a letter to Fifth's late mother, Sabrina Jackson, who died in a fire when the G-Unit head honcho was 8. And then King Harris dropped his own song and video, which features him wearing a t-shirt that features the face of 50's mother. Rick Ross, who's had his issues with 50, hopped in the comments and wrote "Need that T" in a 3x Lil Bro. This is where it got too far for even T.I. himself. T.I. ultimately had to draw a firm boundary when King printed a shirt disrespecting 50 Cent's late mother, stating publicly that he does not believe in attacking people in ways he would not want his own family attacked. T.I. spoke publicly about his regret over the situation. At one point in an interview, he admitted to having some regrets about his children's involvement. "I said that's enough when I seen that damn t-shirt," he shared. "Man, chill out. I'm big on treating people the way I want to be treated." During a sit-down with the Ebro Laura Rosenberg show, the Atlanta rapper reiterated that he didn't need a beef with 50 to boost awareness for his hit single Let 'Em Know. However, when asked if he was a fan of Sons King and Damani jumping in the beef with diss tracks of their own, Tip said he gained zero enjoyment out of it. Meanwhile, T.I.'s music was actually thriving. Let 'Em Know is one of the early hits of 2026. The song, part of T.I.'s retirement album Kill the King, is currently #1 at Urban Radio and on several charts. Through all of this, 50 Cent has not released a single diss record in response. He's been on the gram bigging up his achievements in the TV world. That choice is deliberate. 50 Cent does not rap his responses anymore. He documents them, he films them. He turns them into content that generates revenue and press coverage on a different scale. And that brings us to what is perhaps the most calculated part of all of this, the documentary threat against T.I., which dropped right when the beef was at its peak. 50 Cent essentially told T.I. that diss records wouldn't matter if a documentary exposing the sexual assault allegations was on the way. 50 Cent has yet to drop a diss track against his foes, but he has destroyed them on film. He targeted his last enemy in his recent Netflix docuseries, The Reckoning. The message was clear: you can drop all the records you want, but I have something that will follow you forever. Everything 50 Cent has done over the past several months tells a consistent story. He has moved from rapper to media executive to one of the most calculated provocateurs in entertainment. The leaked footage, the documentary threats, the social media trolling, it is all part of the same machine. Look at the broader picture. 50 Cent's 2026 Super Bowl commercial went viral for its nods to the rapper's many long-standing feuds with other rappers. He stares in a DoorDash commercial framed around his reputation for trolling, even joking that he's been called the king of trolls. The Super Bowl ad had 50 pulling out various items from a DoorDash bag, each referencing a different beef. The promotion plays on Jackson's track record of never shying away from beef, rap-centered or personal. He has turned conflict into a brand, and now in 2026 that brand is bigger than ever. The Marlon Wayans situation showed the same pattern at work. On December 8th, Marlon Wayans went on the Cruise Show podcast and gave his hot take on Sean Combs' The Reckoning. The series was executive produced by 50 Cent. Wayans questioned the documentary's objectivity, and he said, "Puff's down on his luck, and 50's kicking a man when he's down. If luck ever turns on 50, you gotta be careful what you put out. There's a karma to every action." That was all it took. The Indog Club rapper caught wind of Wayans' comments, and the online back and forth immediately began lasting for days, with each man trolling the other. The exchange lasted until Wayans' own brothers told him to stand down. His brother Damon was like, "Why you pick the biggest brother? He's on gamma rays. Stick to beefing with Soulja Boy, Kevin Hart, people that we can beat. You fight him. Leave guys that got shot 9 times alone." He survived 9. Marlon Wayans ended up saying he is done beefing with 50 Cent and is even open to working together. That is how most beefs with 50 Cent end. Not with a knockout, but with the other side quietly backing away. Then there's the Papoose situation. The 50 Cent and Papoose beef remained simmering at the start of 2026, but it was largely dormant while 50 Cent was embroiled in the high-profile conflict with T.I. and the Harris family. On March 8, 2026, just days after T.I. stepped back, Papoose posted a raw car freestyle over 50 Cent's classic Many Men Wish Death beat. In this clip, Papoose immediately got personal. True to form, 50 Cent did not drop a diss track in response. Instead, he doubled down on trolling. On March 13th, he posted an untitled new song, while simultaneously mocking T.I., Papoose, Fabulous, and others in a carousel post. So where does this leave us? 50 Cent has multiple beefs cooking at the same time: T.I. and the Harris family, Papoose, Benzino, and the ongoing fallout from his Netflix documentary. He has a potential T.I. and Tiny documentary that may or may not be real. He has 140 plus hours of footage that he keeps teasing. And he has a Super Bowl commercial deal built entirely around the concept of beefing. When you look at the leaked footage that started the Netflix documentary conversation, footage that came from a fill-in videographer who handed over material from a private inner circle, you see the blueprint. How Netflix obtained the footage has been a dominating theme surrounding the project. The answer is that someone close, someone in an assistant or freelance role, provided the footage to 50 Cent's team. And that footage changed everything. Now 50 Cent uses that same playbook as a threat. He doesn't need to have a completed documentary on T.I. He just needs everyone to believe that he might have one. And given what happened with the Netflix docuseries, where real, private, leaked footage ended up on screen for the world to see, nobody can afford to call his bluff. 50 Cent told GQ, if someone's not saying something, then you would assume that everybody in hip-hop is okay with what's going on. Because other rappers will say, I ain't going to say nothing. I'm going to mind my business. Because of a position that the subject held in culture for so long. So that would leave me. Without me saying that I will do it, there's nobody there. That is the position 50 Cent has placed himself in, the one person in hip-hop willing to do what everyone else is afraid to do. Whether that's producing a 4-part Netflix series, threatening a new documentary, or simply posting a meme of someone's wife. He operates on every level. It's more than likely he's trolling, but it could be a sign that 50 Cent may drop a response to T.I. and his son's diss tracks. Over the past couple of weeks, Tip has targeted 50 Cent in several diss tracks, after the New York rapper declined to face him in a Verzuz battle. The real question going forward is this: will 50 Cent actually make a T.I. and Tiny documentary, or is the threat itself the weapon? Based on everything we have seen, from the way footage from someone's personal assistant ended up in a Netflix series, to the deleted Instagram posts that control headlines for weeks, the answer might be that it doesn't matter. The damage is already done. 50 Cent has found a formula. The leaked footage from a personal assistant role gave birth to a Netflix hit. The threat of another documentary sent T.I. into defense mode. And through it all, 50 Cent hasn't picked up a microphone to rap a single bar. He doesn't need to anymore. The documentary is the diss track now. And if anyone in hip-hop still thinks the old rules apply, that you settle things on wax, that you win beefs with bars, 50 Cent has shown them that the game has changed. The footage is the weapon, the documentary is the threat, and the internet is the battlefield. That is where we are in March 2026. And if the past is any indication, this is far from over.